Welcome, Lights Out family, to another episode of After Dark with KK. Have you heard of stories that freak you out? Sometimes the context was not exactly that frightening, but from the manner the storyteller tells their first-hand account or the raw emotions they exude. Today, KK have collated 3 stories shared on the internet that I was overwhelmed by the raw kind of emotions that creeped me out too. The first story was from Niman, who visited a relative who was desperate for help with regards to a supernatural threat.
I visited a relative's home today, and I witnessed the creepiest paranormal experience of my life. I have been slept by the unseen. I've seen the dead man's ghost walking towards me. I have heard whispers coming right from next to me. I've seen strange faces peeking at me, but what I saw today has to be the most terrifying thing. I had lunch there and was having a casual conversation with the kind host.
Strange things happened recently in our home,
She said.
Do you see these fingerprints and scratches on the wall behind me? It all appeared out of nowhere a week ago. Are we being haunted or something?
I stood up and checked that wall. Though they had wiped the black stains from the fingers of a hand all across the wall, but I could still see them. Maybe your daughter did it by climbing over the sofa, I replied with a logical tone. She had a 3-year-old daughter and might have messed the wall with an ink pot or something. Kids do these kind of things, though the wave of prints went on and on beyond the sofa where she couldn't have possibly reached.
It was not just the wall. Every wall in this house had these prints. Some walls have deep scratches, hundreds and hundreds of prints and scratches. Go, look for yourself,
She replied in a trembling voice. This was a big house with 3 prominent areas. I looked around and went into the first room. As highlighted by the host, all the walls had scratches, about 4 feet high off the floor. I tried scratching the wall myself. On this quality paint job, it took a good effort for me to make a scratch, and it was almost identical to those on the wall. I tried scratching with a coin and with a spoon, as well as a tweezer, but nothing matched. The scratches were definitely from fingernails. I have checked all 3 areas, and inside those rooms, there were small, inches-long scratches all over, and inside the TV lounge, the kitchen, and the washrooms, there were black fingerprints. When I went upstairs to check it out, I discovered the same phenomenon. I moved a wardrobe, and yes, there were scratches behind it. What could have caused this? Is it the paint's chemical reaction over time? Are these walls watery from the inside? Is the paint falling off because of that and leaving the scratches? But why from this specific 4 feet height? I could recognize when paint starts falling off because the wall behind has moisture. The paint goes soft and starts forming bubbles and cracks. This was not the case here. The paint was hard, dry, and spot on. No moisture at all. There was nothing else but real good scratches by hand. I sat there for minutes, trying to find some plausible explanation, but had no joy. I went back to the ground floor. It had only 1 bedroom, a kitchen, and a drawing room. I went in the bedroom and started inspecting the wall, thinking, and then it struck me. I sat down on the floor and looked closely. There was striped powdered paint remnants sprinkled on the floor corners. When we scratch the wall with our fingernails, the paint will drop off like this dry powder. It was there to be seen. I'm no forensic expert, but being a policeman for years, I can make sense of things like this. These were legit milk scratches. And then I felt it, a presence in the room. I was not alone. Mastering my courage, I turned around and heaved a dead cold sigh of relief, and then left the room slowly. This house wasn't haunted by default. Someone must have caused this. Black magic was at play here, I'm certain of it. I remained in the same area outside the room, standing and thinking, what do I do now? How do I help them? I love these people, and they are clearly in danger. With a heavy heart, I walked up the stairs to the family. As I sat there, I told her my findings and what I thought it was. I told her whatever I could possibly do to help them with this situation, I would do so. During our conversation, the husband returned from work, and then I saw it. There were fresh scratches on the right side of his face, his cheek, ear, and back of the head.
Didn't I tell you, Niman? My husband's face was scratched too this morning when he woke up. Please help us.
It broke my heart. I noticed how frustrated and depressed the couple were, but I was helpless at that juncture. A sense of grief and guilt for not able to help them overwhelmed me. It was demonic. I stayed and inspected every inch of the house, and there were indeed thousands of prints and scratches, even at a spot where no man could reach out to. A brutal force is at work here. It pains me to see them so scared of their own house that they have built with so much passion and hard work. I don't know what else to tell them but the truth. Someone had cursed them with something devious, something vile, something malevolent. I believe in black magic. I know it works and it can cause pain and misery. This family has an unpleasant and an uninvited guest, one who is harassing and hurting the family. I will try to help them, and I hope the horror goes away without hurting someone seriously.
Our second story was shared from Abhijit from the Indian state of Maharashtra, as he narrated a story about getting lost on the road, which he and his friend could not explain till this very day. This is what happened that fateful day. From Kolhapur, we were heading to a village called Guhaga. The road was narrow and it was through hilly area. It was 9 p.m. and we were riding a Yamaha RX 100 bike. It was going to take another couple of hours to reach our destination. We decided to stop for a quick smoke. As it was a dark and hilly area, we decided to stop for a short time. We found a milestone which stated that we are still 95 km away from the destination. After the smoking break, we went back on our ride. I beckoned my friend to go faster so that we can reach it sooner and find a hotel to stay. We rode on the bike for another half an hour before my friend suddenly stopped. I asked him what's the reason for stopping.
Abi, you notice something?
No, what is it?
Isn't this the same place we stopped half an hour ago?
True indeed. I had noticed the same milestone and our cigarette stubs beside it. Oh gosh, what is this? We did not take a turn. We were riding in the straight direction. It was almost 9:45 by then, and we were still 59 km away from the destination. A cold chill ran through my spine as I hastily ran towards the bike and hustled my friend to start it and leave this place ASAP. This was when our nightmare began. After riding for yet another 20 to 25 minutes, we have reached the same spot. Oh my god, what was going on? We were riding in circle and reaching nowhere. We could not comprehend that without taking a turn or riding in circular direction, how did we reach the same spot twice? It was way too creepy. We prayed and begged for mercy to the Lord and started again. Miraculously, we reached our destination after an hour and a half riding. The next morning, I spoke with some local resident about this. They said that many people experienced the same thing at the same spot as we did last night. I don't know what that was, but it surely was a creepy experience. On the way back, I tried to look out for that milestone, partly due to curiosity, partly due to trying to prove something, but I could not find it again. Our final story was shared by Phoenix, who returned to the house where she shared with her ex before he was evicted. Somehow, there was someone else who resided in the house. Who could it be?
I had moved back into my house after having my ex legally evicted. He had left the house in a dire state. Literal piles of trash, holes in the wall, carpet beyond repair. Even though I was working full-time, I had to slog and clean for hours every night after work. Usually I would knock out after such a laborious day at work and doubling up with the house chores. Yet a scary presence in the house would make me think twice about sleeping alone in there. One evening, while lying in bed, I could hear footsteps coming down the hall, even though I was 100% sure I was the only person in the house. Over the course of a few weeks, I would start hearing things like keys dropping on the counter, and then the recliner kicked back. And guess what? There was no recliner in our house. My dog and cat could hear it too. The cat would hide, while the dog would give one low growl. We would hear these unexplained sounds once or twice a week. This phenomenon will always end with the sound of the recliner. and then it got worse. I fully believe that people can see and hear imaginary things due to stress or being tired, but I don't believe that's true for dogs and cats. Then that fateful night when I was in bed, the same cascade of sound, of the footsteps, the keys, the recliner, but this time, I could hear water running from the tap of the master bathroom. My cat flew under the bed. The dog went into full engage mode. Every hair on her body was on high alert. She stood on the bed, barking, growling, and was ready to pounce on whoever was in the bathroom. Then the water stopped. The house was silent. That thick and heavy silence. You could hear a pin dropped. I stayed perfectly still on my bed, frozen, waiting for someone to come up, but no one did. Eventually my dog lay down, but kept staring at the bathroom door. There was no way I could sleep. I psyched myself up and opened the door. No one was in there. I touched the sink and it was dry. There was no way did I imagine the sounds, because my cat and my dog have heard it and behaved that way too. Until today, it still blows my mind and still creeps me when I think about it.
When animals reacted like Phoenix's cat and dog did, I would be more inclined to believe on a presence that the general populace could not fathom or see. As for Abhijit, it's a classic case of what we call ghosts covering their eyes or 鬼遮眼 or 鬼打墙. So it could happen even in India. And for Neiman's horrifying story of his relative's family, which he believed was an act of sabotage in the form of black magic, let's hope the victimized family had a peaceful resolution at the end. We have reached the end of the episode, and once again, I hope you can click on the like button if you have enjoyed the narrations. Please subscribe to Lights Out Ghost Stories channel if you have not. Till next time, stay safe and good night, Lights Out family.